All right, making this video for the record. This is the BLUETTI Apex 300. There are several really good reviews of this unit on YouTube. There's influencers that have them with several battery packs, and they've got them plugged into or wired into their homes, and it's going to be the way to power your house, either off grid or when the grid fails and you have an emergency. Well, I bought this just to use in my pull behind trailer RV for a 5-month long trip. Now this RV is self-sufficient, it has a generator, it has solar, it has a power inverter, but I thought it would be really slick to just have a backup. So I bought this unit because you can actually plug a 50 amp and a 30 amp RV into it, and there are videos showing that as well, and they work perfectly. I will tell you the major difference between my BLUETTI Apex 300 and the BLUETTI Apex 300s that the influencers got is when I opened the box for the first one that I got, this is actually the second one, mine was at 0%, and it would turn on, say 100%, then 0%, and then turn off. And it did not matter whether it was plugged into 120 volt or plugged into the solar panels, which do not come with it. I paid extra for the panels. When influencers opened theirs direct from BLUETTI, they were at 65% or better right out of the box. So I could not get the thing to charge, the first one I got, so I contacted BLUETTI. The guy over the phone couldn't tell me anything, didn't know anything, but he got my email address, got my receipt number, order number, and I got in contact with Aiden at BLUETTI. Aiden's great. I was really angry, so I wasn't very nice to Aiden, but Aiden still took care of me, and they sent me a second unit. So you have to keep your original packaging, so I really hope you do if you bought one of these, because you will need it. I promise you. So I put mine in the packaging. They sent me shipping. I shipped it back to Texas. I got my next one within like a week, and I opened it up, and guess what? It did the exact same thing out of the box. I was working with them to get a refund, and just on a wing and a prayer, I left it plugged into the 120 and the solar panels, 400 watts for the solar panels, for 2 days, and it woke up, and then it charged. As soon as it woke up, I was able to connect to the app with it, and it had a warning for low battery. Well, imagine that. It sat in their warehouse with a 0% for too long. Anybody knows anything about these units or any kind of batteries, you cannot run them down to 0 and then leave them sit for a long time. So I don't know, these are probably made in China. They're probably made with Chinese batteries. They probably sat on a shipping container ship for a long time, and they sat in a warehouse, and then they started selling them. And then here they are, dead batteries. I also found a video online where one of the influencers who did a really good video actually got one that was bricked. They replaced it. They let him keep his bricked one. Then he took it apart, and then he replaced the motherboard, and then he got it to work. But anyways, this is what your BLUETTI is going to do, or more to the point, what it's not going to do if you get the BLUETTI Apex 300 and you pull it out of the box and it's at 0%. So watch the screen here. I'm going to hold the button to turn it on. The unit's going to fire up. Now, look at these inputs. 0 input from AC, 0 input from DC. It is actually connected to solar. It goes to 0. It's flashing this warning. I can't connect it to the app, but I'll guarantee you this is the battery low voltage protection warning. It's got these other icons. I've got it in eco mode, silent mode, auto mode, but it is just going to turn itself off. Now, it has been plugged into shore power for 2 days, and it is also plugged into the solar panel that's out there on the patio. So I just emailed Aiden at BLUETTI back, and it's a Saturday. I won't hear anything from them until Monday morning when I wake up, because they're in a foreign country, by the way. So I hear from them at midnight. There's no one you can talk to during the middle of the day from them, and told them that I would just like a complete refund for the 2 panels, and the BLUETTI Apex 300. So I'm hoping that they don't have any problem with that and they don't try to send me out another unit, because I'm gonna be honest with you, I got this one to work, and then I got it to work and it lasted for a little bit, and then I powered this ICECO cooler, and it is a large cooler, but I powered it off of it for a total of 7 hours. And the cooler was already frozen full of meat on shore power, and I ran it on eco mode at just 25 degrees. And when I woke up the next morning, this unit that had been working was at 100% when I went to bed. 6 days remaining on the current power usage, was completely dead, would not power on. And this cooler was at 54 degrees and all the meat in the inside was starting to thaw out. So there's no way that this thing powered that for more than a couple hours before it completely died, which means that this thing will store power until you start using it, and then it's going to die on you. I would not rely on a BLUETTI Apex 300 to power your house in an emergency situation. I can't recommend another unit from a different company because I don't have any experience with them, but I can tell you right now, even if they sent me another one and it worked for like a couple months, I wouldn't rely on it later. I can't take it boondocking. I can't plug my house into it in Montana and expect it to keep me out of trouble, especially not in the wintertime. By the way, speaking of that, it's shorts and t-shirt weather here. I'm camping down in Arizona on the Colorado River. It's 70 degrees here, so we're not in the cold. Even though I'm making this video in December, it's perfectly warm here. We're also inside, and if it gets colder than 65, I turn on the furnace. So, I mean, and I'm at an RV park. We're plugged into shore power. I'm not living off of this thing. I just tried to power a cooler with it for one night, just to honestly see how it works. Well, it doesn't work. BLUETTI needs to get a new vendor to make their units. Their motherboards are crap. They're coming from some knockoff Chinese company or something. I don't know where they're getting them made, so maybe I shouldn't say that, but they're not good. And I'm sure that they need it back from me in the original packaging, because they're going to send it back to the person that they paid to make them. So, long and short of it is, I wouldn't buy one. I wouldn't buy anything else from BLUETTI. And you're going to find a lot of videos that say the contrary. You're going to find a lot of videos that show people loving them. There's some guys I really like watching that are RVers, and they've got a whole power station powering their RV, you know, integrated RV stuff. And maybe those units are better. Maybe they're made by a different vendor. Maybe they just have a different makeup. I don't know. But this is my second bad one. And the first one didn't even kind of work. The second one, I had to barely get it to work, and then it wouldn't do what it's supposed to do. So put whatever you want in the comments. I'll answer any questions. Any with inflammatory comments, I'm just not going to reply to you. I don't give a shit about your opinion. All right, have a nice day.